So welcome you all, my friends and volunteers, seniors, all around the New England, different nationalities. So we are a part of what we call South Asian Poets of New England. We formed as a language group, a poetry group in Harvard in 1997, when India did 50 years of its independence. So we are a bunch of immigrants here. So we thought we will celebrate the Indian ethnicities. India is a large country, many languages, and all people do not understand each other. So we thought we will, as a part of university, we'll all bring together. So we did the a language poetry. So people will sing their own poems in their language, and we try to understand the human speech, human expressions, the way the humans communicate. So that was 97. So 25 years have passed. Meanwhile, we formed the South Asian, so we expanded ourselves we formed in 2008, we formed the South Asian Poets of New England, where we expanded from India to Bangladesh, Pakistan, Nepal, Ceylon, Burma, and sometime Afghanistan also has joined, and people like that. So then that was the larger form we make every quarters and so on. So the 25 years of India's original event. So we thought that we will do a world languages and then folk. So a folk culture of India is old, and folk culture of the world is also similar. We don't know where the language has started, how people lived, who sang. So we thought we will get into those traditions. So 5 years ago, we did something called South Asian Folk Cultural Festival. And this is the 5th year of that. So this year, we kind of tried to make a proposal to Massachusetts Cultural Council, and they have funded us with little money. And I'm grateful to all you people and hundreds of our own volunteers who can pitch in various ways, because the number one, from coming from the subcontinent of India to do a multi-language poetry event is not straightforward. And then because people have to have respect to each other to understand what other person is saying, different language. Now, this step to go to the world is another step forward. I was just seeing here we thought we'll bring in a Native American who is a really folk literature event in this place to open it, and I did not succeed. I have a little quote here where we say, when we show our respect for other living beings, they respond in respect for us. They respect for us. So in the honor of that, in honor of Mother Earth, planet Earth, so we have a little Indian music we'll play before we start the formal program.
Can you hear?
Yeah. Okay, the technology is not cooperating. So go to the first slide. So we have program now. So this is the program today. So we will start with the folk literature of India. I think it's the oldest literature that we know of now, which is kind of on the ground, is the Vedas. So I have requested my friend who will recite a section of the Vedas. And then we have a brilliant narrator, Lynn Noel, who came through in this event. So she will be taking us. She has a boat, and we ride the boat, and will take us around the world. So we'll first start from Boston, reach Brazil, then go to India, meet a Tamil fisherman, then come back to Ottoman and Germany, then see France, enter Italy, meet Dante, then go to Hungary, and where a man is wandering about his land. Then we come back to Premnag, Rajasthan in India, where we have to meet a sage. Then go to the mountains in Kashmir, where we see, hey, look, the life is love and affection. Then we go to Bangladesh, where we see that longing is no good. So then we go to Karnataka in India. We meet a village potter and come back to Cambodia. Cambodia ancestor worship, so the tribute to mother. And then meanwhile, we also travel through a river in Narmada. And then we have Mexico, people are migrating to US, and then finally reach Italy back. Now, some of the compositions are made by people here, and then rest are kind of folk. So anyway, all would be sung and recited. So in order to start, so let us invite, next slide please, Mr. Ramapriya. So he will read to you this so-called the goddess to ovation to goddess speech.
Aham Rudrebi Vasubi Charami Aham Adityai Uta Vishwadevai Aham Mitra Varunobha Bibharmi Aham Indragni Aham Ashwinobha Aham Somam Ahanasam Bibharmi Aham Twashtaram Uta Pushanam Bhagam Aham Dadami Dravinam Havishmate Supravye Yajamanaya Sunvate Aham Rashtri Samgamani Vasunam Chikitushi Prathama Yajñiyanam Tamma Deva Vyadadu Purutra Bhuri Thatram Bhuri Aveshayanti. Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha.
Good. All right. So now we take our right to the world. We invoke ourselves. We invoke the earth, invoke speech, and we go. So let us introduce Lynn Noel. Lynn is a teacher, a singer, a folk artist. So she has the boat, and let us welcome Lynn to the group, and let us get her permission to ride with her. Lynn Noel.
Welcome to a world of folk literature and oral poetry. On behalf of the India Discovery Center, I'm your host, Lynn Noel, and for today's first New England Regional Folk Literature and Oral Poetry Festival, let's set sail from Boston Harbor for a round-the-world tour of a year in 2 hours. And this is from Boston Harbor, coming from Boston, UK to Boston, US, and I'm going to let you take a look at the slides while I sing. And I hope you'll join me on the chorus. We're going to hoist our sails with a sea shanty, and hope you'll sing along on the chorus, but stay muted, and we'll all sing on our own. From Boston Harbor we set sail, the wind was blowing the devil of a gale, with a ringtail set all about the mizzen peak, and our dolphin striker plowing up the deep with a big bow wow, tow row row, fall-de-roll-de right all day. Up comes the skipper from down below, he looks aloft and he looks alow, he looks alow and he looks aloft, saying clew up your mainsail fore and aft with a big bow wow, tow row row, fall-de-roll-de right all day. Then down to his cabin he quickly crawls, and unto his steward he loudly bawls, go mix me a drink that'll make me cough, for it's better weather here than it is up aloft, with a big bow wow, tow row row, fall-de-roll-de right all day. Now we poor sailors working on the deck, with a blasted rain coming down our necks, not a drop of grog will he to us afford, but he damns our eyes with every other word, with a big bow wow, tow row row, fall-de-roll-de right all day. Now our poor sailor's dead and gone, but blessed his eyes, he's left us son, and if to us he don't prove frank, we'll very soon make him walk the plank, with a big bow wow, tow row row, fall-de-roll-de right all day. There's just one thing we sailors crave, for him to meet with a watery grave. We'll throw him down into some dark hole, where the sharks will have his body and the devil take his soul, with a big bow wow, tow row row, fall-de-roll-de right all day, with a big bow wow, tow row row, fall-de-roll-de right all day. Thank you. Thank you. We're going to move on now to the luxurious coast of Rio de Janeiro in Brazil. Built by the Portuguese in the 16th century, the city boasts festive traditions of carnival, samba, and bossa nova. To meet you at the beach, here is Brazilian poet Renata da Costa.
Hello, folks. Hello, everyone. My name is Renata. Yes, here, Rio de Janeiro is the huge seaside city in Brazil, famous for Copacabana and Ipanema Beach, and the 38 meters crystal or Redeemer statue in the top of the mountain. But we are not here to talk about Rio. We are talking here about poems. So, Antônio Carlos Brasileiro Almeida Jobim, the famous Tom Jobim, he's a really famous writer, composer, pianist, songwriter, arranger, and singer. He composed Garota from Ipanema. It's a bossa nova. He's a father from bossa nova in Brazil. He composed this song in 1962, and in 1965, this song won the Grammy for Records for the year. So I will sing the first two strophes in Portuguese, and after that, I will read the last two ones in English, just because it's almost repeating. So let's start. Olha que coisa mais linda, mais cheia de graça, ela, menina que vem e que passa, doce balanço, caminho do mar. Moça do corpo dourado, do sol de Ipanema, o seu balançado é mais que poema, é a coisa mais linda que eu já vi passar. So this is the first three strophes, and right now the last slide, I will read the last two strophes in English, just for have one idea in English. Tall and tang and young and lovely, the girl from Ipanema goes walking, and when she passes he smile, but she doesn't see. Oh, but he's watching her so steadily. How can he tell her he loves her? Yes, he would give his heart gladly. But each day when she walks to the sea, she looks strangely ahead, not at him. And repeat again, tall and tang and young and lovely. The girl for Ipanema go walking, and when she passes, he smile, but she doesn't see. She just doesn't see. And this is Garota from Ipanema from Tom Jobim in Rio de Janeiro. Thank you.
Thank you, Renata. That's great. We are now going to discover another East Coast. Here we are in the old country of India on the east coast of Chennai, also known as Madras. People have been sailing and fishing here for thousands of years. Let's meet the Tamil poet Shivaram Shiva Subramanian.
Vanakkam. From the beautiful beach of Rio de Janeiro, let me take you down to southeast Tamil Nadu, the coast, Coromandel coast in India. The place where we are standing is Point Calimer, Vedaranyam, the picture that you will see here. And can you move on to the last slide and leave it there, please? While I sing the fisherman poetry, you will see the English translation. The lyrics of the song captures fishermen's view of nature, their lifestyle, and state of fishing workers. And generally, fishermen venture into the sea during night, and fisherwomen sell the catch in the morning. And I've tried to dress up like a typical fisherman, and the background picture, what you see, is the actual fisherman from the specific point Calimer. Let me do the song rendition now as you look at the English translation. Yelelo, yelelelelo, yelelelolo, ailasa, yello, ailasa, yelelo, ailasa, vidi velli nam vilakku ailasa, virikadale pallikuda ailasa, adikkum alaye nam thoda ailasa, Arumameka namadu koda ailasa. Ailasa is to be sing in chorus. Whoever wishes, please join me. Ailasa, ailasa, payum puyal nam vonjal ailasa. Panimuta vodal porve ailasa. Kairavi sudakura ailasa. Kattumara varum veedu ailasa. Oho ailasa, aha ailasa. மின்னல் வல அரிச்சுவடி ஐலசா பிடிக்கும் மீன்கள் நம் பொருட்கள் ஐலசா மின்னல் இடி காணும் கூத்து ஐலசா வெண்மணலே பஞ்சு மெத்த ஐலசா ஏலோ ஐலசா எலேலோ ஐலசா முழு நிலாதான் கண்ணாடி ஐலசா மூச்சடக்கி நீந்தல் யோகம் ஐலசா தொழுதலைவ பெருவானோ ஐலசா தொண்டு தொழிலாளர் நாங்கள் ஐலசா ஒத்துமைய கொண்டாடனோ ஐலசா உரிமைய உயர்த்திடனோ ஐலசா ஏலோ ஐலசா எலேலோ ஐலசா 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 ஏலேலோ ஐலசா 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 வணக்கம் நன்றி.
Thank you, Shivaram. That's a wonderful song, and I hope to learn it someday. And we are moving along now to the autumn time of a festive Oktoberfest in Germany. Let's hop a plane north to Heidelberg and meet the poet Irmgard Aurelio.
Hi, I'm Irmgard from Germany. And this is the flag you see. The German flag, one, come here, one for you and one for me. In the middle of Europe we are, surrounded by 9 friendly nations. That is wunderbar. You see lakes, rivers, vineyards, and mountains galore, big cities, quaint villages, and so much more. We grow potatoes, vegetables, fruits, and wheat, and our sauerkraut and potatoes are great to eat. Oh boy, you should really try them, I tell you. Music, literature, poetry, and art are close to the German heart. In the north, people have a serious downward gaze, while in the south, we sing and dance, and Oktoberfest is the best. Seldom there is heard an unfriendly word. Strangers become friends with lots of sauerkraut and beer. Cheers! Strangers become friends, and you hope this wonderful friendship never ends. We are a new home for many a refugee from Afghanistan, Syria, and Turkey. From all the terrible wars in the past, we have learned, because World War II was the last. For 75 years, we have enjoyed peace and prosperity. May this last into eternity. Once COVID is gone, come and see my beautiful Germany. Here is a translation of the song I'm going to sing. By the way, we in Germany are nature bound, where there are lots of hiking trails are found. Autumn. How happy you made us, summer and spring, with so many flowers and birds sing. Autumn is here, and bare will be the trees. Gone are the flowers, the birds, and the humming bees. Soon winter will bring ice and snow glistening. Thus, our earth is alive and humming, with the seasons going and coming. Wie so herrlich schmückte Frühling, Tal und Hügel, Sommer mit dem bunten Flügel uns auch reich beglückte. Herbst ist nun gekommen, Sommer ist gegangen, Vöglein, die so lieblich sangen, hat mitgenommen. In den bunten Wäldern hört man nicht mehr singen, und bald wird der Winter bringen Schnee auf allen Feldern. Unaufhörlich gleiten über unsere Erde, dass sie niemals müßig werde, so die Jahreszeiten. Auf Wiedersehen. Goodbye. See you in Germany.
Vielen Dank, Irmgard. Well done. Ausgezeichnet.
Danke.
And we're going to move on now. Let's take a short train trip to Paris, the home of the oldest literary traditions in Europe, where our young French friend Sarah Pat will tell us a folk story.
Hi, I'm Sarah. I'm presenting a fable called Le Corbeau et le Renard. It's a story to teach morals to children, and it's very classic to learn it in school when you're young. Actually, I got this suggested from my mom, and I'm sure she had to read this in school. All right, I will read the poem now, if that's all right. Le corbeau et le renard. Maître Corbeau, sur un arbre perché, tenait en son bec un fromage. Maître Renard, par l'odeur alléchée, lui tint à peu près ce langage. Et bonjour, monsieur de Corbeau, que vous êtes joli, que vous me semblez beau. Sans mentir, si votre ramage se rapporte à votre plumage, vous êtes le phénix des hôtes de ces bois. À ces mots, le corbeau ne sent pas de joie, et pour montrer sa belle voix, il ouvre un large bec, laisse tomber sa proie. Le renard s'en saisit et dit « Mon bon monsieur, apprenez que tout flatteur vit aux dépens de celui qui l'écoute. Cette leçon vaut bien un fromage, sans doute. Le corbeau, honteux et confus, jura, mais un peu tard, qu'on ne l'y prendrait plus. The lesson is that we should not listen to people flattering us because they might have a hidden agenda.
Excellent, Sarah. Merci bien. Well done. We're now going to visit Florence in Italy, remember the father of modern folk poetry, and pay our respects to Dante. And to greet us, we have the Italian poet Giovanni Aurelio.
Start again. Buongiorno. I'm Dr. Giovanni Aurelio, born, raised, and educated in Italy. I am Italy. In the south of Europe is Italy, surrounded by Mediterranean Sea, and it looks like a boat with a toe and heel, with two major islands, Sardinia and Sicily. Come over into the sun. Let's have fun. Every year, 25 million tourists flock to Italy to enjoy our beaches and our delicious eatery. You must have learned about the 500 years Roman Empire in school with the Romulus, Augustus, Caesar. Those are dudes very cool. The then city is still Rome, where the Pope is at home. Venice, artistic extravagant mask for Mardi Gras. The Colosseum in Pompeii are wunderbar. Florence, Naples, a beautiful city. Michelangelo, Galileo, Leonardo, and Dante are everywhere. We Italians do not eat in order to live. Oh no, we live in order to eat. Much better so. When we dine with the wine, we are fine. And you now clearly see Italy is the place to be. Come and join me. Dante Alighieri, 14th century, is our most famous philosopher and poet. His most important verse in his words of Divine Comedy are: nel mezzo del cammin di nostra vita mi ritrovai per una selva oscura che la diritta via era smarrita. Midway upon the journey of our life, I found myself within a forest dark, for the straightforward pathway had been lost. And considerate la vostra semenza, fatti non foste a vivere come bruti, ma per seguì virtute e conoscenza. Consider your origin. You were not created to live as a beast, but to pursue virtue and knowledge. The origin of Italian language, Dante promoted Neo-Latin that became the Italian language. And now I would like to present a Neapolitan folk song.
Yes, it's
The silvery moon is shining to the sea, calm over the waves. There is no breeze. Join me in my lovely boat in Santa Lucia. Sul mare luccica l'astro d'argento, placida l'onda, mormora il vento. Venite all'agile barchetta mia, Santa Lucia, Santa Lucia. Venite all'agile barchetta mia, Santa Lucia, Santa Lucia.
Arrivederci.
Arrivederci.
Grazie, Giovanni. Very nicely done. We're now going to hop back on the train and head north, where we meet a traveler from Hungary on his way to Italy. Bela Rosaros recalls the beautiful land of his birth and the spirit of the wanderer across the mountains.
Hello, I'm Rosaros from Hungary, which is a tiny country located in the central part of the Europe in the North Hemisphere, which is seen in the next slide. The capital is Budapest, and here are some rivers that the big Danube, it goes almost through the whole Europe, and the Tisza and the Lake Balaton. I show some pictures in the next slide of this, the capital Budapest, which built beside the two banks of the Duna River, and three other big cities, which are the universities cities, because there are so many schools there. There's this Page, my hometown, and Szeged and Debrecen. And here you see mosque, which reminds us that the Turkish people, better say, the Turkish army were there and lived there, but it wasn't a friendly visit at that time, but rather a bloody devastation for the country and the people. So Hungary has a stormy history full of wars, foreign invaders, oppressions that usually hardly hit the poor people. Therefore, a number of people were looking for a secure, better life condition somewhere else. And they had chosen to go abroad expecting lucky, better life. Of course, for the poor people, there wasn't easy to find the dreamed situation, particularly in the beginning. They thought back to their homeland left and told their sorrow. So this song talks about that situation, which is the next slide. Elindultam szép hazámból, híres kis Magyarországból. Visszanéztem félutamból, szememből a könyv kicsordul. Bú ebédem, bú vacsorám, boldogtalan minden órám. Nézem a csillagos eget, sírok alatta elerget. Én Istenem, rendelj szállást, már eluntam a bújdosást, idegen földön a lakás, éjjel-nappal a sok sírás. And roughly, you see the English translation, which is about describe the text in English that I sung in Hungarian. I've set out from a beautiful country, from the famous Little Hungary. I looked back from the halfway, my eyes started shedding the tears. Sorrow is my lunch and dinner, unhappy is every moment. I looked at the starry skies and I sure cried plenty now. My God, render me accommodation. I've had tired of hiding, dwelling in the foreign land, day and night, crying plenty. Thank you.
Good.
Köszönöm, Béla. Thank you. Very
Siva
nice.
Chef, Siva Chef, the ruler.
Thank you. We are now from Hungary going to head east and cross many mountains to northern India, where men have traveled these passes for thousands of years. We're going to arrive in a desert in Rajasthan, India, to meet a sage in Premnagar.
So India is a mix of many cultures. Rajasthan state of India has Aravalli mountain range that divides it into two parts. One is a lush green and other is occupied by Great Thar Desert. Thar Desert of shifting sand dunes, scarce water, bright sunshine, and have serenity and cool nights are amazingly soothing. Evening gatherings at the heart of the village is a daily routine. With many beliefs and many different folklores and songs and many different social, religious, and seasonal gatherings, they sing. People enjoy Kathputli or a puppetry, a storytelling tool which scholars believe ancient Bhag tribe started at present-day Nagaur 1500 years ago. So this song is a reminder of how good deeds of a person who empowers people bestows him godly pedestal, a divinity, and people admire him all across India. The song has a traditional composition handed down to us for many centuries, and this has a mesmerizing devotional connection. So here goes the song. Babo hai sancho dhani, Babo hai sancho dhani, rakhe chhatra chhaan, Lare, lare, oh, fire, pakdi, rakhe, baan, maro helo, Maro hello, Maro hello, Suno ji Rama Pira, Maro hello, Suno ji Rama Pira. हे रूणी चेरा धनिया राजा अजमल रा कांवर माता मीणा देरा लाल रतन देसरा भरतार मारो हेलो सुनो जी रामा पीर मारो हेलो सुनो जी रामा पीर घर घर होवे पूजा थारी गांव गांव जस गावे जी घर घर होवे पूजा थारी गांव गांव जस गावे जी जो कोई लेवे नाम पीर रो मन चाया फल पावे जी जो कोई लेवे नाम पीर रो मन चाया फल पावे जी हे राम सा पीर थारी हे राम सा पीर थारी तोड़ी पे झोंक शीश झुकावा मनडेरा फूल खिलावा हे मीणी चेरा धनिया राजा अजमल रा कांवर माता मेणा देरा लाल रतन देसरा भरतार मारो हेलो सुनो जी रामा पीर मारो हेलो सुनो जी रामा पीर मारो हेलो Maro helo, suno ji Rama. The translation is already there. Slides are with you. So thank you.
Dhanyavad, Premnagar. Bahut sundar, very beautiful. Very nice. So the legends tell of the beauty and the warmth of the highlands in Kashmir. An allegory in modern literature is developed here 1,000 years ago. Let's meet our young poet, Sunaina Kachru.
Thank you. From the land of beautiful Rajasthan and its beautiful sounds, let me hold your hand and take you to the north of India, to my land, Kashmir. Are you ready? Kashmir, or Kashir, or Kashyap Rishi's Mir, or Sati Sar, Veth. These are the different names that Kashmir has been addressed as. Kashyap Mir, which means the land of Kashyap Rishi. Sati Sar, the lake of Sati, or Veth. Vitasta is how Kashmir is called Jhelum River as well. I have many names. You can call me anything. Kashmir has been a land where many rishis, scholars, poets have come and lived. In fact, it was here where Dara Shigo translated Vedas into Persian at that time. Today, we're going to talk a little bit about Vak poetry and the poetess who made it, who gave it as a gift to the world, Laldet or Laleshwari or Lala Arifa. Laldet was born in 1320-1392, and as I said, she is known as Laleshwari to the world. Her poetry is called Vak poetry, or she also expressed in Vatsun. Vatsun was more of a prose. Inspired by her Vak poetry, which is the musings on life, I took a plunge and started to write my own Vak poetry. And I'm presenting you my first Vak poetry, which is called Son Vak. Basically means Sunaina's Vak poetry. And here it goes. Turun Vushun Karith Yaklas. Turun Vushun Karith Yaklas Zetadith Jigras Kotsadrak. Turun Vushun Karith Yaklas Zetadith Jigras Kotsadrak. Meno Pormai Manthar Part. Meno Pormai Manthar Part Shah Khorum Tisui Gauvak. Shah Khorum Tisui Gauvak Rut Gari Pot Gari Karnas Khak Satnam Lol Rag Dutunam Chak. Yelitem Honam Pazruk Gash. Yeltem Honam Pazruk Gash Vainkus Panun Tukuschu Byak. Vainkus Panun Tukuschu Byak. Love and longing seem alike. You left me after you lit my fire. I did not resort to the rituals or superstitions. My breath itself became Vak, a poem. As a good omen, at the last moment, you raised me and slit the nerve of love. After the truth was revealed to me, I can't tell who is my own and who is not. I can't tell who is my own and who is not. Namaskar.
Shukriya Sunaina, very nice. I love to see when people are writing poems in ancient traditions. It's very special. Nice to see the tradition continue. Follow the river Ganges and reach Bengal at the sea. Here we meet street poets who hold a special place in the local culture And on the streets of Bengal, we meet a Bengali poet, Rahul Ray.
Hello, my name is Rahul Ray, and I'm from Welland, Massachusetts. However, today I'll be representing the northeast state of West Bengal, India, the country of India, and the country of Bangladesh. And this whole land is collectively called Bengal. I'll also represent a special group of people called Bauls and Fakirs. However, before I talk about these people, these Bauls and Fakirs, let me introduce to you the land of Bengal. It's a land of lush green forests and mighty rivers, as well as wildlife aplenty. And that includes the famous Bengal tiger, as you can see in the slide, the rhinoceros, the elephants, and many other life forms. There is also a Himalayan mountain range in the north, and very large cities, like I'm sure you heard of Kolkata or Calcutta in India and Dhaka in Bangladesh, with colorful people. Next slide, please. The Bauls and Fakirs are wandering minstrels. They just move around. Basically, they sing and dance and they beg for food, essentially. And they are folk poets, they're singers, and they're spiritualists. And they actually have emerged from the Buddhist and Vaishnava Sahajiya tradition, as well as Sufi mysticism and Bhakti movement. And they are strong believers of the oneness of God with humanity. So they believe in the equality of man. They believe in equality of man and the woman. Because in the songs you often hear, why are you looking elsewhere, like in God in temples or masjids and churches? Why are you looking for God in those places? He actually resides in you. And these Bauls and Fakirs are the strong believers of racial and religious harmony. And the famous Fakirs and Bauls were Lalan Shah Fakir and Rabindranath Tagore. And I will actually sing a song by Lalan Shah Fakir. And I'll be joined in harmonium by my wife Shwapna in harmonium. I'll sing the song. Yes. সব লোকে কয় লালন কি জাত সংসারে, সব লোকে কয় লালন কি জাত সংসারে, লালন বলে জাতের কি রূপ, লালন বলে জাতের কি রূপ, দেখলাম না এই নজরে, সব লোকে কয় লালন কি জাত সংসারে, সব লোকে কয় লালন কি জাত সংসারে। কেউ মালা কেউ তো চুপি গলে, তাইতে যে জাত ভিন্ন বলে, কেউ মালা কেউ তো চুপি গলে, তাইতে যে জাত ভিন্ন বলে, যাওয়া কিংবা আসার বেলায়, যাওয়া কিংবা আসার বেলায়, জাতির চিহ্ন রয় কারে, সব লোকে কয় লালন কি জাত সংসারে, সব লোকে কয় লালন কি জাত সংসারে। সুন্নত দিলে হয় মুসলমান, নারীর তবে কি হয় বিধান, সুন্নত দিলে হয় মুসলমান, নারীর তবে কি হয় বিধান, বামুন চিনি পইতে প্রমাণ, বামুন চিনি পইতে প্রমাণ, বামনি চিনি কি প্রকারে, সব লোকে কয় লালন কি জাত সংসারে, সব লোকে কয় লালন কি জাত সংসারে। জগৎ বেড়ে যেতের কথা, লোকে গৌরব করে যথা তথা, জগৎ বেড়ে যেতের কথা, লোকে গৌরব করে যথা তথা, লালন বলে যেতের ফাকনা, লালন লালন বলে যেতে রে ফাতনা গুছিয়েছি হাট বাজারে সব লোকে কয় লালন কি যায় সংসারে লালন বলে জাতের কি রূপ লালন বলে জাতের কি রূপ দেখলাম না এই নজরে সব লোকে কয় লালন কি জাত সংসারে সব লোকে কয় লালন কি জাত সংসারে Thank you.
Dhanyavad.
Thank you.
Very nice. All of you are doing such a beautiful job of representing your cultures. It's very pleasant to listen to. And we are now going to go deep into central India to witness the clear waters of the mighty river Narmada. Settlers have traveled these banks for many centuries in search of food and shelter, and we meet another wanderer in the poet Kushagra Aniket.
Good morning, Namo Namaha. I shall present a Sanskrit composition representing the river Narmada in central India. This composition is titled Narmada Fragmani. It describes the sacred geography of the river Narmada, and it is an attempt to enrich the classical tradition of devotional and nature poetry in Sanskrit by drawing inspiration from local customs and traditions. Narmada emerges as the link between the natural and the sacred in Hinduism, as well as the link between the folk and the classical in India. Next slide. The composition traces the origin of Narmada from the Amarkantaka hills and traces its course through central India, bordered by the Vindhya and Satpura ranges. It captures the various views of Narmada as it passes through cities and villages, as well as the flora and fauna that thrive on its banks. Next slide. Narmada emerges as the lifeline of the people inhabiting its banks, as well as a source of spiritual peace and upliftment. So I shall now begin with the composition, Narmada Fragmani. आम्रकूटा स्खलन्ति कटौ भारते कोटिलिङ्गं समर्च्य स्वकूलेषु या शम्भुपादाब्जरेणुं शिरोधारिणी पातु सावस्तदा शर्मदा नर्मदा नक्रचक्रालया मीनकूर्मालया नागकोकालया बाणलिङ्गालया भक्तिनीरालया सर्वतीर्थालया पातु सावस्तदा शर्मदा नर्मदा नीलवर्णाकदा शुभ्रवर्णाकदा हेमवर्णाकदा ताम्रवर्णाकदा विन्ध्यशैलाटवो कृष्णवर्णाकदा पातु सावस्तदा शर्मदा नर्मदा ओमपानैषणाचिद्यदा जीवने नर्मदा तोयपीयूषमास्वादय श्वेतबिन्दुर्विजाता हि यादुर्जटे पातु सावस्तदा शर्मदा नर्मदा नैव हे सोमकन्ये क्वचित् त्वत्समो भूतले मर्त्यलोकोपकारे क्षम दर्शनाते फलं प्राप्यते यन्नरे गाङ्गतीर्थे तथा नो फलं मज्जताम् वक्तुकामस्तमैश्वर्यगाथावलिम्बोऽस्मि तीरे त्वदीये पुरा शङ्कर श्रीगुरोपादपद्मं स्वकं लब्धवान् तत्प्रसादेतरं कारणं तत्र किम् चारुरूपे जगत्कूपमग्नो नरः स्वकटाक्षाद्विरूपाक्षलोके यदा देवभूपालवृन्दै मुदा वन्द्यते जायते केन पाणेन लभ्यं पदम् कृष्णकाकाभिरूपातु मन्दाकिनी त्वत्तटे स्नातु मायाति गर्भं विनाद्यादिबाधाविमुक्त्यै गिरो निर्जने तां सवितां विनीतां पुनीतां कुरु निर्मलं ते जलं नात्मे संशयं सर्वदुर्वारभूभारसंहारिणि दरुद्वैस्तूयमाने तटे हेलयाशर्करे शङ्करत्वं
whenever I take somebody this thing, अपने जान से भी मैं,
गन्धर्वदेवाङ्गनामन्दिरे कोटिकन्दर्पनृत्योत्सवानन्दिते ये रमन्ते सुरादेवी केन्दैर्मत्वां विना कोऽत्र जानाति दुःखं वरो यद्विधेयं श्रितोऽसानुजं हीनजं स्पर्शमात्रेण लोकेषु सन्तापदं नामृतावञ्चितं तत्तमवलम्बनात् वत्सले धर्मदेते तटे कण्टकम् एकवारं मया बाल्यकाले तव स्पृष्टमेवाहं मातर्विनाशब्दया तत्कर्णे चेत् प्रसादस्तवासीतलालोकलोकोत्तरं मे भवेन् मङ्गलम् किं भयं मे यमातरप्रतापाद्यदावाणलिङ्गाभिधेयं शिलामण्डलम् क्षिप्तमानन्दभावेन वीचो मया लक्ष्यरुद्राभिषेकः कृतः तत्क्षणे एवमेवाकृतं पूजनं नर्मदे तत्पदाम्भोजयुग्मे मया वाङ्मयं देहि सप्तात्रिविन्द्यात्रियोगात्मिकां स्वीयधारामिवेश्याच्युतैके मतिं स्वीयधारामिवेश्याच्युतैके मतिम् एवं धन्यवादः थैंक यू वेरी मच
Nirvana, Angatosmi in Sanskrit. Thank you. Very nice. It's a very mesmerizing song.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. We'll now travel south to Karnataka and reach a potter's village where women have been preparing and designing clay pots since times unknown, and we will meet this timeless potter in poet Geeta Patil.
Yes. Hello, everyone. This is Geeta. I'm going to sing a Kannada folk song. This is about a pot maker who is well known in all over India, and he is called Kumbarana in Kannada. So I'm going to sing how this pot maker makes the pot and sells them to the villagers in exchange for food items like rice and wheat. ಮುಂಜಾನೆದ್ದು ಕುಂಬಾರಣ್ಣ ಹಾಲು ಬಾನುಂಡಾನ ಹಾರಾಡಿ ಮಣ್ಣ ತುಳಿದಾನ ಮುಂಜಾನೆದ್ದು ಕುಂಬಾರಣ್ಣ ಹಾಲು ಬಾನುಂಡಾನ ಹಾರಾಡಿ ಮಣ್ಣ ತುಳಿದಾನ ಹಾರಾಡಿ ಮಣ್ಣ ತುಳಿದಾನ ಮುಂಜಾನೆದ್ದು ಓಹೋ ಮುಂಜಾನೆದ್ದು ಆಹಾ ಮುಂಜಾನೆದ್ದು ಕುಂಬಾರಣ್ಣ ಹಾಲು ಬಾನುಂಡಾನ ಹಾರಾಡಿ ಮಣ್ಣ ತುಳಿದಾನ ಹಾರಾಡಿ ಮಣ್ಣ ತುಳಿದಾನ ಹಾರಾಡಿ ಮಣ್ಣ ತುಳಿಯೂತ ಮಾಡ್ಯಾನ ನಾರೇರು ಹೊರುವಂತ ಐರಾಣಿ ನಾರೇರು ಹೊರುವಂತ ಐರಾಣಿ ಮುಂಜಾನೆದ್ದು ಕುಂಬಾರಣ್ಣ ಹಾಲು ಬಾನುಂಡಾನ ಹಾರಾಡಿ ಮಣ್ಣ ತುಳಿದಾನ ಹೊತ್ತಾರೆದ್ದು ಕುಂಬಾರಣ್ಣ ಹಾಲು ಬಾನುಂಡಾನ ಹೊತ್ತಾರೆದ್ದು ಕುಂಬಾರಣ್ಣ ತುಪ್ಪ ಬಾನುಂಡಾನ ಗಟ್ಟಿಸಿ ಮಣ್ಣ ತುಳಿದಾನ ಗಟ್ಟಿಸಿ ಮಣ್ಣ ತುಳಿದಾನ ಹೊತ್ತಾರೆದ್ದು ಕುಂಬಾರಣ್ಣ ತುಪ್ಪ ಬಾನುಂಡಾನ ಗಟ್ಟಿಸಿ ಮಣ್ಣ ತುಳಿದಾನ ಗಟ್ಟಿಸಿ ಮಣ್ಣ ತುಳಿದಾನ ಗಟ್ಟಿಸಿ ಮಣ್ಣ ತುಳಿಯೂತ ಮಾಡ್ಯಾನ ಮಿತ್ರೇರು ಹೊರುವಂತ ಐರಾಣಿ ಮಿತ್ರೇರು ಹೊರುವಂತ ಐರಾಣಿ ಮುಂಜಾನೆದ್ದು ಓಹೋ ಮುಂಜಾನೆದ್ದು ಆಹಾ ಮುಂಜಾನೆದ್ದು ಕುಂಬಾರಣ್ಣ ಹಾಲು ಬಾನುಂಡಾನ ಹಾರಾಡಿ ಮಣ್ಣ ತುಳಿದಾನ ಹಾರಾಡಿ ಮಣ್ಣ ತುಳಿದಾನ ಮುಂಜಾನೆದ್ದು ಕುಂಬಾರಣ್ಣ ಹಾಲು ಬಾನುಂಡಾನ ಹಾರಾಡಿ ಮಣ್ಣ ತುಳಿದಾನ ಅಕ್ಕಿ ಹಿಟ್ಟು ನಾನು ತುಂಬಿಕೊಂಡು ತಂದೀವ್ನಿ ಅಕ್ಕಿ ಹಿಟ್ಟು ನಾನು ತುಂಬಿಕೊಂಡು ತಂದೀವ್ನಿ ಗಿಂಡೀಲಿ ತಂದೀವ್ನಿ ತಿಳಿದುಪ್ಪ ಗಿಂಡೀಲಿ ತಂದೀವ್ನಿ ತಿಳಿದುಪ್ಪ ಕುಂಬಾರಣ್ಣ ಮುಂಜಾನೆದ್ದು ಹಾಲು ಬಾನುಂಡಾನ ಹಾರಾಡಿ ಮಣ್ಣ ತುಳಿದಾನ ಹಾರಾಡಿ ಮಣ್ಣ ತುಳಿದಾನ ಮುಂಜಾನೆದ್ದು ಓಹೋ ಮುಂಜಾನೆದ್ದು ಆಹಾ ಮುಂಜಾನೆದ್ದು ಮುಂಜಾನೆದ್ದು ಕುಂಬಾರಣ್ಣ ಹಾಲು ಬಾನುಂಡಾನ ಹಾರಾಡಿ ಮಣ್ಣ ತುಳಿದಾನ ಹಾರಾಡಿ ಮಣ್ಣ ತುಳಿದಾನ ಕುಂಬಾರಣ್ಣನ ಮಡದಿ ಕೊಡಗಾದ ಕೈ ಇಕ್ಕಿ ಕುಂಬಾರಣ್ಣನ ಮಡದಿ ಕಡಗಾದ ಕೈ ಇಕ್ಕಿ ಕೊಡದ ಮ್ಯಾಲೇನ ಬರೆದಾಳ ಕೊಡದ ಮ್ಯಾಲೇನ ಬರೆದಾಳ ಕೊಡದ ಮ್ಯಾಲೇನ ಬರೆದಾಳ ಕುಂಬಾರಣ್ಣ ಕಲ್ಯಾಣ ಶರಣ ಬಸವನನ ನಿಲ್ಲಿಶಾಳ ಶರಣ ಬಸವನ ಇಳಿಶಾಳ ಮುಂಜಾನೆದ್ದು ಕುಂಬಾರಣ್ಣ ಹಾಲು ಬಾನುಂಡಾನ ಹಾರಾಡಿ ಮಣ್ಣ ತುಳಿದಾನ ಹಾರಾಡಿ ಮಣ್ಣ ತುಳಿದಾನ ಹಾರಾಡಿ ಮಣ್ಣ ತುಳಿದಾನ ಕುಂಬಾರಣ್ಣ ಓಹೋ ಕುಂಬಾರಣ್ಣ ಹಾಹಾ ಕುಂಬಾರಣ್ಣ ಕುಂಬಾರಣ್ಣ ಮುಂಜಾನೆದ್ದು ಕುಂಬಾರಣ್ಣ ಹಾಲು ಬಾನುಂಡಾನ ಹಾರ್ಯಾಡಿ ಮಣ್ಣ ತುಳಿದಾನ ಹಾರ್ಯಾಡಿ ಮಣ್ಣ ತುಳಿದಾನ ಹಾರಿ ಹಾರ್ಯಾರಿ ಮಣ್ಣ ತುಳಿಯೂತ ಮಾಡ್ಯಾನ ನಾರೇರು ಹೊರುವಂತ ಐರಾಣಿ ನಾರೇರು ಹೊರುವಂತ ಐರಾಣಿ. Thank you.
Dhanyavada, Geeta.
Thank you.
Very nice. I love that tune. That's beautiful.
Thank you. Thank you.
We're now going to sail east across the Indian Ocean in search of old tradition. In the temple country of Cambodia, we meet a poet paying homage to her deceased mother. Greetings to Vitora and Darith Pat.
Hello, everyone. So this is Vitora. I'm going to present a poem about Cambodia on my mom. As you know, Cambodia is in Southeast Asia. It's a land of Angkor Wat, and we have as neighbor Thailand, Vietnam, and Laos. I will tell the poem in English, and the read will tell poem translation in Cambodian. And the read has taught in Siem Reap and Phnom Penh, Cambodia. And then, Cambodia, we have the worship of ancestors, and we have a song that are dedicated to our relatives and friends who pass away. So I dedicate this poem to my mom, Dr. Annie Ngo, who passed away on June 7, 2012. And my mom was born as a dragon under the Chinese zodiac. And she loved flowers like champa and roses. And she passed away 2 months before another dragon was born, Vera Annie Ngo, my little niece who is 9 years old. So the dragon is a majestic animal, and we love dragon in Cambodia. As I think that it's a Chinese heritage about the dragon. So here I will start with the English version, and then the reader will give the interpretation of it. Mother, a golden yellow flies into the blue sky, towards an auspicious sky, changing your clothes to join God in a red rose and yellow champa garden, with dedicated and embalmed perfume. Surrounded by your favorite flowers, free, bright, and generous soul, always generous and thinking more of others than yourself, frail and very determined, always ready to rescue your family, friends, and strangers. Go, Mom. Go in peace. We love you, and you will live forever in our sad and heavy hearts. Sad to see you go, but it is just a goodbye. We will see each other in another life. Go towards God, who holds your soft hands towards the golden yellow light. Light of God, go to your eternal mother, who will guide you towards a pure, radiant path filled with flowers. She will guide you towards an eternal life. Adored Mom, we will see you soon. So the read will give you the Cambodian translation of it.
Good morning, everybody. So Madai, so near Poilung do me Hossam Dao Joe Kanong make you kill. Spoof the rock pop ni pre. Ni do chica plapdo some dear bumpet Romamat and may Joe room to my pre. The Kanong soon ka collab crohom lung. Num ka champa the min clan crop cry. What chum winter dog ka the mat min chum no cry. Doom pro lung seray plu nung sop rock. ម៉ាក់តែងតែមានចិត្តជួយអ្នកដទៃគិតតែពីជួយអ្នកដទៃច្រើនជាងជួយខ្លួនឯងទោះជាសុខភាពមិនសូវល្អប៉ុន្តែមានដំណឹងចិត្តខ្ពស់ត្រៀមខ្លួនជួយសង្គ្រោះគ្រួសារមិត្តភ័ក្តិនិងអ្នកដែលមិនធ្លាប់ស្គាល់អញ្ជើញទៅម៉ាក់សូមអញ្ជើញទៅដោយសុខសាន្តកូនទាំងអស់ស្រឡាញ់ម៉ាក់ហើយចំពោះកូនទាំងអស់ម៉ាក់រមែងនៅរស់ជានិច្ចនៅក្នុងដួងចិត្តដ៏ក្រៀមក្រំរបស់ម៉ាក់គ្រប់គ្នាកូនសោកស្ដាយណាស់ដែលបានឃើញម៉ាក់លាចាកលោកនេះប៉ុន្តែវាគ្រាន់តែជាការលាគ្នាប៉ុណ្ណោះយើងនឹងជួបគ្នាវិញនៅអនាគតជាតិក្រោយទៀតសូមម៉ាក់អញ្ជើញទៅរកព្រះអង្គនឹងជួយតម្រង់ផ្លូវនិងកាន់ដៃទុនរបស់ម៉ាក់ឆ្ពោះទៅរកពន្លឺលឿងដូចមាសពន្លឺនៃព្រះសូមម៉ាក់អញ្ជើញទៅរកព្រះម៉ែសកលព្រះម៉ែដែលនាំម៉ាក់ឆ្ពោះទៅរកផ្លូវបរិសុទ្ធពោពេញទៅដោយផ្កាណែនាំម៉ាក់ឆ្ពោះទៅរកជីវិតអមតៈជានិរន្តរ៍សូមក្តីស្រឡាញ់ចំពោះម៉ាក់យើងនឹងជួបគ្នាឆាប់នេះម្ដាយ
Victoria and Darit. Very nice. And we are with you and you're thinking of your mother.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Our time is almost done. We have 2 more for you. We are going to return back to North America to witness massive numbers of Mexicans crossing the border. And we're going to hear their voices through the Spanish poet Sergio Inestrosa. Sergio.
Gracias. Good morning. I want to invite you to join me and witness the chaos of the south border of the US and the north border of Mexico. This poem that I will read to you is focused on the immigration, but it's also focused on the religion, right? Mexico is a very religious country, and this poem try to reflect those 2 things. So let's start. Cristo migrante. Cristo llega cansado, sucio y hambriento a la frontera. Este Cristo llega de todas partes y ha tomado la forma de un niño, de una mujer, de un anciano, de una joven que espera un hijo, del hombre que huye de la violencia y de la insultante pobreza de su país. El Cristo, como todos los otros antes que él, busca alcanzar su sueño. El Cristo se dispone a cruzar la frontera, a escalar el infame muro. No hay de otra, dice, mientras se prepara. Lo dice en voz alta, para que todos lo escuchen, aunque solo algunos seguirán su ejemplo. Otros, tal vez por miedo, seguirán esperando un milagro. No hay vuelta atrás, les dice una vez más. Ya estamos tan cerca de lograr el ansiado sueño. Después se verá, les advierte, de qué está hecho ese sueño para cada uno de nosotros. Muchas gracias. Thank you so much.
Muchas gracias, Sergio. Eso fue encantador.
Muchas gracias.
Encantador. It's lovely. It's a beautiful piece. Thank you. We are now going to have one last stop in the cradle of culture. That's Italy. Unfortunately, Franco Vitello cannot make it with us. So our host today is poet Giovanni Aurelio, who will sing a folk song from Naples.
In place of Franco Vitello, my wife Imgard and I, we present a very important poetry from a Nobel Prize winner, Salvatore Quasimodo. The title of the poetry is Men of My Time.
Here's a translation. Yes, you are still the human being with bow and arrow, whose aim is to kill and destroy. The only thing now, you are more vicious and more deadly in your iron birds, where your arrows are very deadly. Forget, O sons, the bad things your fathers and your ancestors did, whose blood saturated the soil. do not go into their footsteps. They only wanted to pursue power and violence. You are there to promote peace.
And the Italian original writing, uomo del mio tempo, sei ancora quello della pietra e della fionda. Uomo del mio tempo, eri nella carlinga con le ali maligne, le meridiane di morte. T'ho visto dietro il carro di fuoco, alle forche, alle ruote di tortura. T'ho visto, eri tu, con la tua scienza esatta, persuasa allo sterminio, senza amore, senza Cristo. Hai ucciso ancora come sempre, come uccisero i padri, come uccisero gli animali che ti videro per la prima volta. E questo sangue odora come nel giorno quando il fratello disse all'altro fratello: andiamo ai campi. E l'eco freddo tenace è giunto fino a te, dentro la tua giornata. Dimenticate, o figli, le nuvole di sangue salite dalla terra. Dimenticate i padri. Le loro tombe affondano nella cenere. Gli uccelli neri, il vento coprono il loro cuore.
All right. Okay.
Grazie. Molto potente. Very powerful.
So I like unmute, and can we unmute yourself, all of you? All of you present?
Yeah, unmute it.
All people. Can you do it together? Thank Lynn.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Lynn.
We have
Thank
you a lot. Closing
we
words.
thank because we came back safe. We did not fall into and
We have the closing words for
we
this
are here.
festival.
We are here. So now, number one, so we made a world tour, and people who saw it have comments on it. They may write to us and see whether this way of presenting the world makes sense to you. Now, in order to wrap up our program, I've invited Giovanni Aurelio, the senior most person in our group, also the friendliest most person in our group, because I kind of have been telling him many times, and I've repeated today, that is, when we start this world tour on languages, it might look strange to people, but it did not look strange to him. So with his open heart, the largeness of understanding, humanity personified. So we invite 93-year-old Giovanni Aurelio to present to you
93.
the closing grace. Closing grace. Okay, Giovanni.
Thank you. Thank you. First, I want to say, I will not count my day anymore, my year. when they come, I'll take as they come. So I'll take about leaving forever. Probably God will allow me to do that.
And I take
what a spirit! What a spirit! What a spirit!
No. I would like to mention something. First of all, I want to thank you, Bidge, to give the opportunity to have this reflection, a union of people. They think all are the same, in the same direction, humanity. And I mentioned that Dante poetry shows humanity with a magistral analysis of individual action and relationship. Our desire for happiness, that's what the Dante is supposed to do through his poetry, desire for happiness and useful to ourselves and to others, to live, love, learn, and be in peace. This is our objective that reflects all the humanity. And we promote let's start this track. This will be easier together than alone. Thus, will be successful. Thank you. Thank you, Biche. God bless. Arrivederci. Auf Wiedersehen. Au revoir. Namaste.
All right. Okay. Anybody who is visiting, who did not participate, if anybody visiting has any comments and so on, if you briefly, 5 seconds, 10 seconds, if anyone wants to comment, you can probably share it now. Just raise your hand on the so-called reaction, and then I'll recognize you. I'll give you 30 seconds to, anyone?
Sajid bhai.
Yeah, proceed with this.
I am Anjuna Chakraborty. I am here as a spectator, as a friend of Rahul Rai. I think it is wonderful as a whole world came in one pot. I loved it.
Thank you.
I want to see it, more of it.
Thank you. Thank you.
I loved it. Thank you for everybody's participation and contribution. I loved it.
Thank you. Join us as a poet or a singer. We have open to all people.
I think my friend Rahul tried a lot. He gave up.
Good. All right. Okay. Anybody else? People who are participating.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Thank you. I just want to echo the same appreciation. I think it's been wonderful. I think what is also came through is that human spirits can really supersede the technological flaws and limitations. I think that is a big statement for this, because I think that what we'll remember, at least I know what I will remember and what I will carry in my heart, is not those little technological really issues or problems or limitations, but the human spirit and the poetry and the world that came through. So thank you, everyone. And it's been wonderful. So let's go forward together. We live in a very difficult time, but there's also hope. And these are the glimpses of hope and vision of the future. So thank you.
Okay. We hope the Lean's boat would be there next year. Anybody else? We have one more comment we can take and move on. 11. Yeah.
Me, Bala. Hi.
Okay, Bala. Okay.
Yeah. Hey, it was wonderful, Vijay. It was a wonderful experience. As Lynn did, making us travel through the world and listen to all these different fantastic folk songs. It was really great. And I think you did a great job assembling these things. And I wish you more luck. I have more opportunities to do this. And I look forward to attending these conferences in the future. Thank you. And it was a great time. Thank you very much.
Any poet wants to comment? Any person who did not really expect or who did not expect?
Can I say a few words, sir? Shivram here.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I must
Shivram
thank
from India.
Shivram from India. Yes, I must thank the situation that demanded us to use virtual platform, without which I think it is very difficult to have a get together of all of us. So I think we must see the positive of the situation as well. So thanks to everyone for this opportunity and a wonderful day. Thank you.
Right. Anyone who did not participate on Saturday did not know what to expect. Saturday we had this little thing. So any person who missed that and all right, probably not. We have several volunteers which participated. Can Amandip give my thank you list? So we have this organization that we did is not done by about 2 or 3 months efforts by various people, contacting people and then letting them understand. And as you can feel that the communication is not so straightforward, because what is folk, what is poetry, what is world, who communicates, how you understand, to create a model about education. So all that evolved through many meetings, and where many of people I'm listing on the left side here, participated, and then try to understand and give oxygen to this whole process. So would you kind of appreciate Jamuna by Prakash, a young student here, was born in this country and he took primary interest. Can we have like applause for Jamuna by Prakash, Sangita Prasad, Jamuna by Prakash, Sangita Prakash, Prasad. Then Amandim also pitched in. Sangita also made many calls and contacted many people, articulation, communication, and then understanding. Amandip Singh also comes in, present our slide today. Chandu has been with the program for a long time. Chanchala Priyadarsini helped. I don't see her today. Rita Pandey helped. Shunanda and Sajid you heard from. And then our South Asian poets, quite a few people. I did not list them all because this whole spirit of it, that world is one, we are one, we speak the same language, human needs are one, human emotions have no boundaries. So this spirit has been coming up through many poetry meetings. So if any of the volunteers want to say a word, you can do so. Does Jamuna want to speak a word? Is Jamuna around?
I think all I would want to say is thank you all very much, because it was really beautiful and it really was better than I imagined. It was amazing. Thank you.
So can we, then Sangita ji, is he around? See, these are the two principal efforts they made. Sangita, you want to say a word?
I will just echo and say I truly felt like I was traveling around the world, and the way everybody sang and communicated, I could start to get a sense of the culture and the people. So thank you so much for making that happen for me.
So do you think your labor did make results?
I hope so. It sounded great to me. I'll leave it for the group to decide. For me, it did. It was very validating.
Very good. So now the production. So the production today, the slides were made. I mean, we kind of designed that. We said that we'll kind of communicate the language or the culture and the people and so on through slides. And so we got material. So Sangita Prasad tried to clean it up and make it some kind of format. Then Amandip took the stab on it and tried to create the structure that you have. Then we have a graphic artist, Deepak Mondal, back in India. So he took the effort to really frame it. So this is a composite effort. And then finally, we have all this internet program, registration, and then maintaining system. So Prem Nagar was a participant. Amandip ran the slides, and Chandu ran the background registration. And finally, we have video, Manish Srivastav, who is operating to see where the lights will go, who will be on, and so on. So he's kind of conducting the program. So he will be also preparing the video for us, which we will share. So will you kind of unmute yourself and through appreciation, so our appreciation by applause, put together, unmute yourself and a round of applause. And we acknowledge the financial support. This helped us in the sense that when somebody recognizes that your effort is really worthwhile, so then you become a sponsor. So it's not like a huge amount of support we get, but that they recognize that's worthwhile. And so we acknowledge Massachusetts Cultural Council, and they gave us the money through the Cambridge Art Council. So this basically is a Cambridge City production and hosted by the South Asia Poets of New England and operated by India Discovery Center. So I'm Bijoy Misra. I wish to thank you all for this first effort, and then we shall see. Come back next year. We'll join in. Have a round of applause for all volunteers and all the people. Thank you all, because the world is